Today we're going to do a MAME 2010 test, and I would highly recommend you keep your games organized in such fashion, maybe like I did on my screen, so that you do not confuse them with MAME 2003 or 2000 ROM sets. As you may already be aware, revisions may make or break a game depending on which MAME version you're using. Anyways, we're going to start out with the Root Beer Tapper, and I'd like to say that in MAME 2010, certain Midway games that only previously ran on MAME 2000, such as Journey, Root Beer Tapper, and Spy Hunter, run on MAME 2010. So you could pretty much keep them all in one HMOD if you do decide to go the 2010 route, or you may prefer just to use a combination of 2002 and 2003. I mean, it's all a matter of preference. But we'll start out with a Root Beer Tapper test. And I'm pulling up my RetroArch options. We have MAME 2010 at the bottom of the screen, so good to go. I'm going to go to my settings video and change my aspect ratio so that it's full screen. So this one seems to work pretty damn good. We'll move on to the next one. We have Spy Hunter. And the controls in Spy Hunter on 2000 were really wacky, where it was extremely hard to control. And I could actually control it a lot more reasonably than in the other version. So it's actually playable now. And the reason it was so wacky in the other version is because the arcade version actually has a steering wheel, and it was not calibrated properly for MAME 2000. But it runs great here. Another game that I really wanted to play and it didn't work on MAME 2003 was the Great Journey game, which is like a little mini game set, using various members of the Journey band. They also have this on Atari 2600. And each level has a different Journey song that's kind of like 8-bitted. Kind of reminds me of like a Sword Quest, Fire World, etc. game. You could definitely tell what song he's playing here. Not too shabby of a game, especially if you're a Journey fan. There's one specific game that does not run on MAME 2003 and earlier that I've been a fan of. It's a Sega X board game, and it's called Thunderblade. I will briefly show you that. They have this on Sega Master System, TurboGrafx 16. It's always been one of my favorite games, though. It was cool how you had like the overhead 2D type effect, and then you have it changed into a 3D perspective after you get to the first stage. And it has a little bit of a skippy sound, a little bit of slowdown, but it still plays favorably well. These games that have the jittery sound, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. It's more or less the hardware is not emulated fully, and it's the hardware that you're trying to emulate the hardware on. In this case, would be the Mini Nintendo. If you ever played the MAME versions of the Vegas games, like Gauntlet Legends, Gauntlet Dark Legacy, you would know exactly what I mean. That requires an absolutely powerful computer to run. And I tested Ninja Baseball Batman on here, and I did not have any true difference between it.